The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Welcome to Journey into the Light, Chapter 2, a program which strives to bring about awareness and awakening, the practice of living in the present to feel joy, to feel reconnected to loved ones and your future. Now, here's your host, Psychic Little T, and Nashville's astrologer, Jennifer Green.
Hey everyone, thank you for having me on tonight's show. The topic of love, I've got inspired from a client I had yesterday. This is for people who doesn't feel the love around them, and for us to remind them where can they feel love at and not feel lonely. Because there's a lot of loneliness around in our world right now with this and I call it a false reality of life, of text messages and social media and online dating. All of that, you can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't hold it. It's not in the flesh of us in the present time, but to acknowledge our love that we have around us. So my client just got out of a marriage a few years ago, and she was in a 20-year marriage and felt lonely. So here she is, she's separated now. And she feels lonely again. She goes, Jen, I don't feel love. I'm almost 40 years old. I don't see myself finding anyone, and I'm just lonely. So I tell her, for the very first thing you have to do before you to receive it, you have to feel it. You have to feel that. You have to give yourself self-love. And she said, but it's not enough. I said, then you have to count your blessings of love. If you're looking at love through a keyhole, look at it with both of your eyes. Take a step back. Every conversation you have with someone, you could be giving love. You can make someone smile. You can make someone laugh. If you're listening to a beautiful piece of music, that's something that your spirit loves. So if you're feeling lonely, look at the love that's around you. So that's kind of one of the messages I want to give.
I think it all comes down to is we as people forget about the little things in life. We forget how to pamper ourselves, because as a mom, I find myself going to the store and going, do I really need that? My son really needs socks. And, just to buy yourself something small, I don't care if it's at the dollar store, just to make yourself feel good. Sometimes that's what you have to do, and we have forgotten that. And I think that's what your client is having troubles with.
And that's exactly what I was telling her. You got to prepare in the morning before you go out. Prepare yourself before you go out, before you start your day. Give yourself at least 3 minutes of preparation. If you could truly be in 3 minutes of gratitude for your life and truly breathe in and feel it and count good energies of gratitude. And of course, my anchoring system is literally when you're walking around getting ready, where it doesn't take any time. Be grateful for what you can do. That you stand up, that you was able to walk, that you're able to have hands, because that prepares you for the day to see life on a brighter side. It's science and it's mystic and it's spirit, all of it.
So let's talk about the growing numbers of blended families. I haven't really worked with a lot of blended families, but I hear a lot of my coworkers saying, oh, my stepmom, my stepdad. And it kind of annoys me to a point, because that mom or dad is still taking care of you like you're their biological. And I know it's just a title, but I'm like, really? And maybe it's just in their own mind that they are this evil person. And I'm not saying everybody, but give them the respect. I had a manager, and he had a blended family. And he's like, well, my stepdaughter. I said, do you take care of her? Do you buy her clothes? He said, yes. I said, so she's your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
And he went, yeah, exactly. If you've been married to the person 1 year, 2 years, whatever, it's still the same thing. It's still your child. I just hate the titles that people put on each other.
The root of that, if we truly just follow God's rule, if we treat people how we want to be treated, that pretty much eliminates it. And it's about not allowing yourself to view life through that keyhole. If, blended families, adopted families, well, your heart is open your home and your heart to family, and you love them, and they're part of your holidays. They're your people. It's just about giving love. Treat people how you want to be treated.
So let me kind of throw this. I text my sister-in-law the other day because it was my twin niece's 16th birthday.
Oh, nice.
And I said, "What do the girls need?" She texts me back. She says, "Honestly, I don't know." And I was like, wow. Now, my son will be 20. I still know what he needs. Is it just because I pay a little bit more attention? How do you not take the time to know what your kids need or depend on somebody else to get it for them?
Because some people feel that's their responsibility.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I've got my life. I do what I need to do and have to do and want to do, and everything else, it's your responsibility to get my children what they need, not mine. It's about me. That's what we got a whole society it's all about. Never before have I seen such a narcissistic society, which is evident on the roads today, just driving.
Absolutely.
Get out of my way. I'm all that matters, you insignificant little snit.
It's very true.
Each generation's getting worse.
Mm-hmm. And that's because the interacting with human being and respect of it being taught is becoming less and less. 2 generations ago, they knew their kids knew their grandparents, they knew their story, they knew their lineage. The more and more it goes, they don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
And it's not offered anymore because the parents don't know it. So it's important that you have to love who you are. And that is one of the hardest loves to conquer. But just like Little T mentioned earlier, you got compliments are so special. And I encourage that if you are going to have a serious conversation with your loved one, give them a compliment because it makes someone smile. And if you make someone smile, they're in a better mood to communicate. And it makes you feel good. And preparing your mind in the morning to gratitude. I devotedly do this every day. Thank God, thank the grace that I can, and to pray to do my best to be the best version of myself. And that's something I do every day because it is so easy for us not to be a good version of ourselves.
It's funny. I had this older gentleman come in, I'm guessing with his daughter, and he was very friendly. We got to talking, and he's like, "Guess how old I am?" I said, "I'm sorry, sir, but I can't do that. That is a loaded question, and I'm not doing it." And he's like, "No, really, guess." And I said, "Okay." I said, "I'll be back. I have to do something else, and I'll answer your question." And he's on a walker, and he has a neck brace on. And I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm going to take a shot in the dark." And I knew that I was underestimating. But I said, "How about 73? He's like, "Not even close." I was like, "Okay." He said, "I'm 90 years old." Wow. I went, wow. I said, to me, he didn't look 90, but he had the best spirit. I was like, wow. I said, when I'm 90, if I live that long, I want to be like that. Sometimes you have the one or two people that come in your path, and you're just like, wow, that's awesome for them to be like that.
Absolutely. It only takes, we could hear one thing and our whole day has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was telling my client, Sarah, and she's in law enforcement, and she's somewhere where there's a lot of people coming and going, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Very busy. And I told her, she said, "Well, I'm just kind of scared to talk to people." I said, "Sarah, listen to this, what I'm going to tell you." I said, what is the absolute, when you try to talk to someone, what is the absolute worst thing that could possibly happen?
They ignore you.
They ignore them. They'll just keep going. I said, exactly. So you have nothing to lose. I said, well, you have such an advantage of where you work at. There's people passing by. It's not, the chances of you seeing them are in very, very low. It's there. So I said, this gives you such a platform to experience how to communicate with people, how to talk to people, just to say hello. And I said, because of what you're doing, I said, you're seeing something of theirs, so you can comment on something. That's always an easy icebreaker. And just in the practice of communicating by itself, just being a good conversation, it makes you a better person and you feel more love, because when you walk into places, people are smiling, people want to talk to you. You bring a sense of cheer. I remember Rock said something that he said people tell him presently that when he would light up, when he walks into a room, the room would light up. And I said that wrong, but it's something along those lines. You want to help me out, Rock?
That's close. That's close. It might have been because I was on fire.
There you go. And it's because people, when you have that energy and you're sending out love, people are attracted to it. So smile, say thank you. And that's one of the things I've done for myself I had to practice this a lot, because I was angry for a while, for a lot of personal reasons. And the practice of saying thank you as much as you can before you ask, I've seen has made such a difference in my own personal life, and it's the advice I give. Because your brain can't be happy and sad at the same time. And that's just a fact. And it will overpower if you just keep doing it. Keep forcing yourself to self-love, gratitude, compliments. And compliment yourself. Like T said, buy yourself something. Whatever it is. It can maybe even be your favorite flavor gum.
Ice cream works for me.
Story.
Ice cream works for me.
There you go.
Mr.
That will always make me happier.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people, they don't necessarily believe in the Bible, but the Bible gives some pretty good advice when it comes to living and having relationships. What it tells us to do is, but for a male, any person younger than you, actually, for both male and female, any person younger than you, significantly younger, you would want to treat them as your own children. For any person who's your age, male or female, you would want to treat them as if they were your brother and or sister. For any person older than you, significantly older, I'm talking 20, 30 years, you would want to treat them like your mother and or father. You get along so much better with everyone. That's pretty good advice.
I see that's the best advice you can get.
It's definitely a respect factor. Love thy neighbors and treat them like you want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have that sense of humor to make it through the day.
And we have humor. We have funny things happen all around us all the time. There's humor everywhere. And don't take life too seriously, because you'll never get out of it alive.
Yep. Impressive.
Yeah, this is what we need to do. Find the positive things, the good things about people around us, and mention them.
Absolutely. I want to add something before our break. You make someone else happy and they remember it. So that's like a memory that's locked in now in a good way. So what I'm saying is we definitely influence. Goodness does pay off.
And that's what love is all about. Love is about love. Jesus said when I say love your neighbor, I say love your enemy. It's easy to love your friends. Love your enemy.
Yeah.
Love your enemy.
Wow, that was great.
We use the word love in the English language so openly, so freely. I love you. I love my children. I love my dog. I love ice cream. Which is it? I mean, there are in the Bible there are 7 levels of love, and a word to be used for each level. You love ice cream, it's not the same as loving your wife or your husband. Yet the English language is so vague that that's the word we use. Well, think about something that happened in your life in the past few years that you had a negative reaction to, and try and think of what you could have done to reverse that. I'll give you one of mine to happen today. Driving down Pennell Road to go pick up Jacqueline, my great-granddaughter. This guy pulled out of the parking lot right in front of me and then stopped in the middle of the road. And what did I do? Rather than blowing my horn, flashing my lights, yelling, doing all kinds of hand signs, I stopped and let him in. It held up my day for an extra 3 seconds and let him out safely so that he could be on his way. See the positive versus what most of us might have done in a situation like that, calling out names, yelling, screaming, you know.
Yeah, you can very easily.
Yeah.
You could act like that.
Just stop and let him in. Like I said, 3 seconds out of my life. Wow. Now, give me your story. And then maybe we'll have somebody call in with theirs.
As always, we are always giving free readings here on ParaXRadioNetwork.com, where you guys can call in, get a reading, have a breakthrough, because Little T is about to give you that number right now.
All right. Nothing like putting me on the spot. I like it, Jen. Okay.
Yeah,
so
she knows her numbers. What can I say?
It's called Post-it notes on my computer.
Oh, I thought I was about to take you to the track.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our call-in number is 267-436-4876. It was kind of like a marathon.
A little bit. Maybe we need to do it one more time.
And you may not, well, you may.
267.
267.
436. I'm a cheerleader now. 4876. Woohoo!
Rah. And you may not want to call in for a reading. Maybe you want to call in to share a story of something that I just shared.
Absolutely.
You can call in for a story. We'll listen.
And you could share your story. I do. 1 second, I want to backtrack about your story and our divine cat mascot. If someone out here I know is listening to this right now that doesn't have anyone around and they've been contemplating an animal, there's a story. If you guys listen to Little T's story, that affection with the cat is all love. That cat literally gave her a hug. Animals have a sixth sense, and they could fill that void. So if you've been thinking about it, I know it, and I just feel it. There's someone contemplating, thinking in thought, should I not? Animals are a lot of responsibility. God will just make it easy. If you have it inside your heart, you feel you want to get an animal, fill it for yourself.
And get
Give
a rescue.
an affection.
Get a rescue animal, not one from an animal farm, breeding farm.
Exactly. And also what I want to throw in too is animals give unconditional love. They don't give a darn about how your day was. Mm-hmm. They just want you to be there, to pet them, to sit next to them. And like Jen said,
they're good listeners. The thing that makes us all one is because all of us has the same energy, and we all could have different. There's good, bad, and ugly, and everything, and we all have our own flavor and what we like and what we don't like. That's for people too. So you guys listen to all of this, because it is human advice too.
It's long been said that the eyes are the window to the soul. And you can prove this with any pet. When the pet looks at you, does it not make eye contact?
Mm-hmm. That's why they say don't look straight. Is it straight into a dog's eyes? Because it means you want to fight.
Well, a stray dog sure. Maybe, yeah, but not your pet. My dog has beautiful eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a dog. He's a rhino.
Yeah, but
so
that's why
as I said, a rhino.
Yeah. Get a pet rhino.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. Does your dog bite? No, but it'll ram the hell out of you.
So you guys, in the beginning of our show, I said I was going to give some tips and advice on how to communicate with your loved one to prevent an argument, or if you have something important you want to say and you want your partner to be on at the most energy open level to hear, because the most important part about a relationship of any kind is communication. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we have to listen twice as much. That's definitely number one. But the advice I'm giving, I give this to every single one of my clients that I meet, and for guys and for girls. I really stress it out more for girls, just for males. So if you have something important you're sharing, and it's life changing, it's a very serious conversation, don't talk to your partner if they have an empty stomach. First of all, don't do that. To feed them, they're ready to listen a lot more after they eat. And if it's something really important, bring dessert. That way they're completely unconditionally listened to you. And you can't help it. It's just like a baby. A newborn baby, you give the baby a whole bottle of milk before they go to sleep. They're just listening. They're just there, listening. Use the tone. Listen to the tone of your voice. Us girls, we have a tendency to be annoying because our tones can reach much more higher pitches than guys. What do you mean by that? There you go. So listen to your tone. If your tone is annoying to you, I promise it's annoying to someone else. How do you know and this is good for anyone. If you want to know that you are speaking in the best tone that the human being likes to hear, that can come from you. If you take your palm and place it on your chest and practice when you are speaking, to speak where you have vibration, that you could feel vibration coming from under your hand, that means that you are in the perfect tone for your body that will sound most comforting to human beings. And this is a fact. It's very true. So this is not good just for girls. This is good for everyone. If you want people to listen to you more, you want to have your sweet spot. Where's your sweet spot of tone at? It's good with speaking. Practice it. I've done it a lot on the phone, is how my habit was, and then I do it without even thinking about it now. But yeah, see, but the tone. It's all about the tone, tone of expression. Always advice: if you are angry, don't have a conversation with someone you love about something very serious, because if you're angry, that you're not at the best version of yourself. Take yourself a walk, a shower, eat something healthy, grab a glass of wine if necessary, let your cat hug you while you watch your dog eating their dinner. And just take a moment for yourself before you even start a serious conversation, because the things that most couples are arguing with is about love, sex, and money. But before that, how those problems even become problems is because there's a communication problem. If you cannot, and I share this advice every time, you have to be able to speak to your partner. You have to be able to speak. You have to have the conversation. If you don't have a conversation in the beginning, it's going to be really hard for you to find one somewhere else down the line later on, or after this one. Oh, I'll get close to him after we'll talk more once we get a bigger house. See, the divine cat agrees. This is it. You got to communicate.
Now, Tammy just rocked back in the rocking chair on her tail.
Is that what you call it nowadays? One thing I want to add real quick is don't go to bed angry. If you need that 10 minutes to cool down, tell your partner. Like, it's all about communication too. But you have to listen, and you have to speak. But be careful what you speak, because words hurt. And when you're angry, all the wrong things come out.
That reminds me when I like, you're inside the food industry, so you're seeing so many people. And I have to say, customer service is one of the most hardest jobs, and they are definitely underpaid. It takes a skilled person to do customer service, period. You have to have patience and skill, and you learn how to listen. And whether it's in a variety of jobs, that communication, I think it's also a wonderful experience to have. I worked downtown for years, and it was, you meet people 3 to 5 minutes, and that's it, over and over and over again.
Yeah, you have to be able to communicate, and it all depends on who you're communicating with. You're talking about your partner. Well, I think one important thing is to have some history you can share. Yeah, if you're talking to your partner discussing the Beatles and they go, who? There's a problem.
And if you're just now new to the show, and now everyone will know that the amazing Psychic Little T and Rock with a Shock are father and daughter.
Yes, I'm the father.
Yes. And it still creeps me out to hear my parents are still in love.
I think
That's
But
right.
it's a good thing nowadays.
It's,
All right.
it's amazing.
Give out numbers. Give out numbers. We're down to 1 minute.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
everyone.
Go ahead, Jen.
Hey everyone, I am Jennifer Green, Nashville's astrologer. You could find lots of information about me on my website, epicjen.com, EPICJEN.com. Phone numbers, Instagram, Facebook, it's all on there. If you're ready to be the best version of yourself, I'm here to help you. Thank you, and what an amazing evening. Flawless victory, you guys. T?
Tammy, go.
Okay, so I am Psychic Little T. Can you hear me? My contact number is 609-320-7912. See you guys next week.
All right, I'm Rock with a Shock every Friday and Saturday night, except this Saturday night. I do an oldie show on my own network, www.rockwithashock.com. Hope to see you there sometime. Take care of yourself and be good to each other. We'll see you next week.